Okay, hey guys, Claude Diamond here. How are you? I love talking about sales. I am back here in beautiful San Diego, California. I was for a couple of months in Winter Park. Hey guys, Whoops, Claude Diamond getting here. News back there. I love talking Whoops. About sales. Okay, we fixed that little problem there. And that was the recording from YouTube live while we're doing this. Anyway, I'm back here in San Diego. I love talking about sales. Like the sign says, do you give good phone? I'm on a big high. I sign up new people. I still do real estate. And I sign up new clients every week who want to learn the gut sales method. Great, untraditional, unorthodox techniques of sales and success. That's a long mnemonic, but it's true. I think sales is the $1 million skill. And if you guys follow me at all, this is the sort of thing I love to talk about. I think sales is just the key. You could have the best strategies, the fanciest office. You could have the spend a fortune on leads, but can you close? Closing is the key. How do you, in a competitive world, how do you close? How do you get people to say yes in the first phone call? Sometimes the second, never the third. Going for people, there's a $1 million rule I teach. I learned it from my mentor. People make immediate business and social decisions emotionally. This is the $1 million rule. They make decisions very quickly if you can get them in that emotional state. Most people don't sell like that, though. They sell with a lot of facts and figures and all those other features and benefits and everything. What you need to do is learn how to the art and the science of the conversation with people. How do you get them to say yes? You got to get them in an emotional state. Sales is emotional. Their problems are emotional. They don't want to hear all the facts and figures. So you have to ask questions and you have to use a system. Guts is a three-step system. It's question-based and it involves a lot of different psychological aspects like stroking, nurturing, empathy, redirection. It's a combination of Cialdini and Pavlov and Freud and Jung and Milton Erickson, the father of conversational hypnosis, a lot of good things. So the thing about it is, the title of this broadcast, finally getting to the point, Claude, is how do you turn the prospect into the salesperson? Okay. And this is some of the magic of my gut sales method. We work too hard and we think we got to do all the yakking like I'm doing right now and monopolize. Well, there's no one else to talk to. Okay. Unless you have a question or something and you want to post it in the chat, I'll take a look at that as we go along. But here's the thing. Can you imagine for a moment if the prospect does all the work? How much fun is that? The prospect does all the work. You just sit back and you control the process. You're asking the right questions. So you get a prospect says, "Well, you're the 10th person to call me." Oh, well, did you do business with those other 10 people? That's a great question. Well, you must have brought it up for a reason. What are you looking to do today? Well, how would you like us to do business? What do you need from me in order to do business? What are you looking for, price or terms? And you learn to ask certain questions to control the conversation and get the prospect answering. So sometimes the prospect, they keep their cards close to their chest. Okay. And so, bottom line, can you go to that prospect and say, gee, you must have sold that property. Oh, why are you selling it? How many years have you been in that property, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect? Oh, 20 years. Well, why don't you keep it another 20 years? It's a nice neighborhood. It looks like a beautiful home. You've taken great care of it, and it keeps going up in value. And you raised your kids there. You got the little marks on the wall and everything like that. Why you don't really want to sell it, do you? And this forces the prospect to justify their decision. This is real important, guys. So I'm going in the opposite direction expected. This is almost what we call a pattern interrupt. I call it a redirection with pattern interrupt. And these are kind of technical terms that I teach. When I teach my students, we role play a lot. So I'll go to the prospect, and it's almost like I'm the anti-salesperson, okay? I'm trying to get them I'm trying to get them to tell me why they wanted to sell the home. I have to get the information from them, why they want to sell it, what's their level of motivation. And they're basically, they don't know this, but they're giving me on a silver platter. They're telling me how to sell them. Well, we have to move. We need lower our expenses. We need a bigger house. We need it closer to where my kids go to school. I don't want to commute as far. They give you these, what we call these 3 to 6 needs and greeds. These are so important because now the prospect is telling you everything you need to know. They're qualifying themselves, they're giving their own presentation. They might even close themselves. Can you imagine? You just have to know how to respond, how to redirect the conversation. Somebody else asked me a question. Well, would you pay the closing costs? Oh, well, sir, that's an interesting question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that before. Why did you? We haven't even negotiated the price yet. Why is the closing cost so important to you at this moment? Well, I don't want to pay the closing costs. Okay. So imagine, let's suppose I could pay the closing cost. Well, you and I negotiate a deal. We either do the price, the terms, the lease purchase, a subject to, an owner finance, or you discount it and we do a cash deal. If I was willing to pay a portion, or let's say I'll pay all the closing costs, what would you say to me next? Is that boom? So now you're not only getting information, but you're getting qualification, you're getting commitment too. Need a sip of my tea. Thank you. Celestial Seasonings, great teas. Boulder, Colorado. Oh, what is this? Peach. Excellent. Mm. I drink a lot of liquids all day. Herbal tea, bottles of water, black coffee, no calories. Steak keeps you thin and fit if you just drink liquids all day. I skip breakfast and lunch. I have one dinner. You didn't come here to hear that, though. You came to hear how to make the prospect do all the work. They sell themselves. They give their own presentation. They tell you their wants and needs and desires. They even close themselves. You've got to learn how to ask questions. But questions by themselves can be very abrasive. Nobody wants to be cross-examined like you're on the witness stand or something. So there's a way to ask questions. And this is where stroking, nurturing, and empathy come into effect. The stroke, I always do this because it's a signal to my students when I'm coaching them, is basically a compliment, a sincere compliment. When people bring up a good question or they ask you some different things, you say, a good question. Glad you brought that up. Oh, you've done your homework. You've done your research. You stroke them. Why? Because that's charismatic selling. You want to get them to know, like, and trust you. It's one of the most important things in sales is to get people to know, like, and trust you. How do you earn that? You give sincere compliments. That's very interesting. You've done your homework. Very good. Boom. And we don't do enough of that. Okay. I always talk about the analogy of sending somebody a check and they don't, for a wedding or something like a graduation, and you don't get a thank you back. We love to be acknowledged. Nurturing is basically when you make it emotional. Remember, I talked earlier about that $1 million emotional rule. You got to make things emotional for people, um, because that way they make decisions quickly. People make decisions emotionally. They only justify those decisions later on. And so you have to keep reinforcing that and tell stories. You wait for bonding moments, things like that. Someone brings up something. Oh, well, I made all these mistakes. Oh, Mr. Prosper, I made those same mistakes. Everybody makes them. It's just the path we go on, so it's not you. We all do this. So don't be too hard on yourself. Boom. That's a bonding moment. That's the thing about it. Can you learn? We have to learn. We have lost the ability to engage with people. Okay, can you start? I go to Walmart, Costco, and stuff. I will talk to total My wife thinks I'm nuts, but she's used to it by now. I will talk to total strangers in supermarkets, and I'm the weird guy, okay? Uh, just to see, can I make them smile? Can I engage them? Can I make somebody laugh? Can I spontaneously do a conversation with a total stranger? Do you think this is an important skill? You better believe it. It's a super important skill because if we learn how to speak to people we can make as much money as we want. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of sales. Sales is that $1 million skill, but we have to learn to engage. See, here's the rule. We People love to engage. They love to talk to other people, but they will not initiate the conversation. So, yeah, I had a client today just to bring. He had a speaking engagement in front of 50 people, and I said, there's a few guts moves you can do to get those 50 people, or about 75 to 80% respond to you, text you, email you, go to your webpage. And now you have all those leads that you can follow up on. Hello, Mr. Prospect. How did you like my speaking engagement last night at the meeting? Did you get the free book I said? Oh, you didn't? Oh, let me send it to you right now. What kind of business are you in? What kind of real estate do you like to do? What's your goal? What are you monthly shooting for? Maybe I have some ideas or suggestions. Hey, I'm writing a new book on using options and lease purchasing. I'd love to send it to you and get your opinion. Boom. If you can initiate conversations or do follow up with people every day, we call it, I just happen to have this handy, my daily rule of five. You got to make 5 live phone calls a day. I'm telling you right now, if you can speak to 5 people a day, use the gut system and make 5 offers a day, money will never be an issue in your life. The odds are now in your favor. Can you do 5 follow-ups? What do I mean by follow-ups? I mean people, hey, Claude, hold the sign still. Okay, boom. Here, you guys who are taking notes, 5 live calls, 5 follow-ups, 5 social media, 5 voicemails, 5 offers. Speak to 5 people a day. Make 5 offers a day. Do 5 follow-ups a day. Those are the people you spoke to 15 days, 15 weeks, 15 months ago. Follow up with people. You have their contact information. You have your notes. Maybe they've changed their mind. Maybe their financial situation has changed. Maybe their problems have changed and they need an immediate assistance. If you have that consistency, that routine, and you can consistently, I'll use that word, a habit of talking to a few people every day with the gut system, agenda, qualification, commitment to close, and all the little baby steps. I have a free book, by the way, if you guys want it. Go to claudediamond.com and send me go in there, schedule 15 minutes with me so I can review what to study and how to study it. And I'll send you a free book and a lot of free stuff, or just text me. The number's somewhere on the screen, 619-206-5960. Send me a text or call me, and I'll send you a free book on how to sell with guts. It's a book I sell all over the place. I've sold thousands, so many of these books. My gosh. And I'll send it to you for free so you don't have to buy it on Amazon or eBay or on my webpage even. So 5 live calls, 5 follow-ups, 5 offers. You should every day you should have social media content, contemporary content, something that relates to your business in the news. Put it out there. It can be one video in 5 different places, okay? Put out content every day. Be entertaining, be informative, be contemporary. Okay. Make sure you have information out there so people want to follow you, want to listen to you. Give good content. Don't do a commercial either. Okay. And always offer some kind of reward to people, something for free, a mind map, a book, a consultation. Create value so that people are attracted to you. So, in voicemails, you guys leave voicemails, but leave gut style voicemails. Make an offer on the phone, set a time frame. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, I want to make you an offer on your property. I've got the paperwork and the contract in front of me, but I need to hear from you before 2:30 today. Otherwise, I have to go to another deal. Boom. Scarcity, social proof, authority, all those good things that you read about in all these, mostly Cialdini, who I'm a big fan of. You put this information, you do this daily rule of five one more time, and you'll have all the business, you'll make all the money you want. It's about the lost skill, the art and science of communication. I was in the college campus today, and everybody's walking around staring. It's like The Walking Dead, I swear. Everybody's just staring at a phone while they're walking. You hope they don't get hit by a car crossing on the road and stuff. And the thing about it is, we think that a communication is really about emails and VAs and digital messaging and postcards. And it is. I'm not knocking it, okay? But sooner or later, The way you get an offer, the way you close a deal is to speak to somebody the right way. Charismatic selling. Learn how to ask the right questions so the prospect gives you everything you need, and you do it with a certain style, a certain finesse that I teach in role plays. And if you want to learn that, I'll teach you in 15 minutes for free. Just go to my webpage, claudediamond.com. I'll give you a book, and I'll spend 15 minutes with you, and I'll show you how to be a charismatic salesperson, a gut salesperson. Learn how to ask questions and get that prospect and have fun. You guys don't know how much fun you can have in sales, not just making money every day. My business makes money every day, my word, only because I do one thing really well. Like the sign says, I give good phone. I speak to people. I ask questions. I always make an offer. I always follow up on my offers with people. This is the good habit, the routine, the consistent behavior that can give you as much the freedom that you deserve. Because as I always say, nobody deserves success more than you good people. But you've got to do things radically different from your prospects. If you don't, nothing will ever change. You can't delegate your success. You have to take responsibility for it. This is Claude Diamond. Nobody deserves success more than you good people. Work smart, become gut salesperson people, and